People, it's me, Kinghuman. Listen up. I'm going to try and help you because that's what I'm about, trying to help people. So, okay, no hypey shit, no hyperbole, no bullshit. Let me just try and have a real conversation with you guys because I notice some of you guys are really having problems. And I want you to understand where you are in this equation, because I think we as a people need to take responsibility for where we are in life. You know, not everything is your fault, but a lot of it can be attributed to you, and you need to realize where you are. I think most of you guys are in what I call an idiot bubble or an ignorance bubble. Now, before you get all butthurt because I just called you an idiot or ignorant, you guys got to understand you've been programmed. You've been programmed to be idiots all your life and not to question things and not to be independent thinkers. You've been programmed to be cogs in a machine. You've been programmed to be good little pieces of corn, I call it. Because people are corrupt. From the day you're a little kid, you're programmed to go through this institution called school. You go through the lower schools, the lower grades, which teach you stupid things. They don't teach you how to be independent. They teach you how to be dependent. They teach you the basic knowledge you need to know to be a cog in a machine, a battery in the matrix. Then, once you graduate high school, they tell you, okay, now if you want to get a good JOB, which stands for just over broke, you need to go to this other institution called college. And once you go through that and pay us a bunch of money for this special knowledge we're going to give you, you can get a better JOB. They put this stamp on your forehead, approved. This person has gone through our course, and now they're approved for a better JOB. Yeah, they went into debt to be able to do this. They financed their whole future away to the point where their better JOB is going to pay them a lot, but they're going to spend the rest of their life paying off their student loan. So basically, they've turned you into an indentured servant. They've turned you into a slave with your high interest student loans. It's a scam. It's the way you've been programmed to think. Hey, I go through this process and I get a good JOB. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. College, school, getting a good JOB is good for some people. But if you look at some of these people, if you go to work and you see, while you're sitting in your cubicle, you watch the boss walking around. First of all, he drives up in his fancy Lamborghini or whatever freaking car he's got, right? Then he walks around, looking at his crops. Now, when I say people are crops, that's what they are to these corporations, these big corporations, or any business. Your people are your crops, no different than inventory, hard physical goods you may sell. They look at you as a commodity because you are. They hire you to do a job and they pay you as little as they can, but yet they bill you out to their clients as much as they can, and that's a huge gap. They can hire you. Let's say you're a plumber. You go to work for some plumbing company, right? They hire you for $10 an hour, and they bill you out at $50 an hour. Now, sure, these companies have expenses. They've got insurance. They've got a building to rent. They've got overhead. So they're entitled to make a profit. But I resent the fact that they treat you guys, you employees, like disposable assets, cogs in a machine. Oh, this cog isn't good anymore? Throw him out. Let's get a different one and just plug him in. There are the economy is so bad that you employees are interchangeable. And I want you to take a step back and think about your position and ask yourself, are you in an ignorance bubble? Do you look at that boss and say, I should be that freaking boss? I don't want to be an employee. And if that's the case, you've taken the first step towards stepping outside of the bubble, the ignorance bubble, the programming bubble, the bubble that people have put you in all your life. I was there. I was in that stupid bubble. Now here's the thing about being in the bubble. You don't recognize you're in this idiot bubble until you can get out of it and look at it from the outside. Because once you're in it, you can't tell. You don't know where you're at. You cannot experience something you haven't experienced. You can't even comprehend. You know, here's an example. I have people telling me all the time, you know, when they learn about how much me or some of my buddies make online, they go, that's impossible. Nobody makes that kind of money hitting a few keys on a keyboard. It's impossible. Well, that tells me how deeply infused they are into this ignorance bubble. They've been programmed so deeply to believe that it's impossible to make this kind of money that it really is. It is impossible for them because they believe it's impossible. If you believe you can't do something, guess what? You can't. So the first step you guys need to do is motivate yourself and tell yourself, give yourself permission, better term, give yourself the permission to make big money for yourself. Go after your dreams, pursue your dreams. Don't buy into the programming that you've been into all your life. And I'm not just talking about the corporate program that society puts on you, but the programming that the people around you put on you. If you're around people that are constantly telling you how stupid you are, how you'll never achieve anything, this was my history. My father constantly told me what a loser I was, what a piece of shit I was, why I would never accomplish anything in life. It was toxic. And what happens when an authority figure like your parents or anybody around you, your teachers, whatever, when they tell you, when they give you these negative inputs, subconsciously over time you start to believe them. And the more you believe them, the more you become limited in what you think you can accomplish. The minute you get away from those toxic negative influences, you will start to have opportunities because you'll take better chances. You'll take risks. You'll go out there and you'll take risks. And sure, you're not going to succeed with all of them. Nobody does. But eventually something starts to happen and you start to say, wow, I did that thing that nobody else said I could do and it worked. And then you start scaling up from there. You develop something and you go bigger and bigger and bigger. And again, it doesn't mean that just positive thinking is going to turn you into a success. It takes several things. You know, just because I think I can fly by flapping my arms doesn't mean it really will happen. You have to deal with reality. And some of you guys are limited. Some of you guys are unlimited. You've only limited by the programming. And those are the people I want to break your bubble and get you out of it. Or at least wake you up to the possibility that you're in a bubble and that you're a battery in the matrix. Because I see it all the time. Here's an example. I have 2 of my Kinghuman Elite students who are in high school. Now, I'm going to Vegas in a couple of days. And these kids want to hang out with me and spend the day in the spa and, you know, driving, you know, driving race cars around the track, or whatever the hell we want to do, we can do it. You know why? Because these two kids make huge, huge money. I'm not even going to tell you how much money they make. But they make a lot every single month. And here they are, they can't take a day off of school. Why? Because the bubble people are telling them how they need to live their life. The bubble people, like their parents, you know, they make 20 times what their parents are making. And their parents are telling them how to live their life. What about the guy in school, the idiot teachers? Now, they're making 1,000 times what this idiot teacher is making. And yet this idiot teacher in high school is up there pontificating and teaching them supposedly what they need to know to be a success in life. And that teacher has no idea what these two kids are making. If this teacher, and by the way, all this teacher is doing is regurgitating crap out of a teacher's syllabus. He's got no experience. The only thing he's ever done is he went to college, he got that stamp on his head that says he can have a job of being a teacher. So he goes, he becomes a teacher in some high school. He gets these materials on how to do, you know, how to teach this or that. All he does is, hey, regurgitate that garbage. He's got no experience in making money. He's got no experience being a success in life. He's got no experience. Look, here's a perfect example. And this was the example I used to my two kid buddies. I want you guys to go rent that movie called Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. It's about a guy who's really successful. He owns all these big and fat stores across the nation, right? And he's making huge, huge money. His kid is in college, and his kid is wanting to quit college because he's having a rough time. And Rodney Dangerfield goes, no, you can't quit college. I'm telling you, you're the only kid that's a melon that's ever gone to college. You can't quit. And the kid goes, I can't do it. I got to quit. And Rodney goes, that's it. I'm coming to school. You know, because the kid said, you never went to college, Dad. You didn't go to college, and look at you. You're such a success. So Rodney Dangerfield goes back to school. Now, the thing I want you guys to really, really look at and examine, because it's such a great, it's not just a satirical element in the movie, but it's a great illustration of the hypocrisy of the system. Rodney goes to this class on how to make a successful business. And it's being taught by this pompous professor who's never been in business in his life. And Rodney's sitting in the auditorium listening to this guy pontificate on how to be successful in business. And here Rodney is a multi successful millionaire with all of his stores, and he's going, oh, I'm telling you, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. Here, if you want a successful business, first you got to pay off the garbage companies. You got to pay off the guys in the planning department. You got to all this real world stuff. And of course the professor's going, look, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm the professor here. I know what to teach people. And that's a perfect illustration of the hypocrisy of the system. People that don't have any real world experience, that don't know shit, are in a position of authority to try and teach people how to be a success. And what do they teach you? They teach you how to become dependent on a system. Why? Because that's what they've been taught. It drives me up a freaking wall. So I want you guys to realize a couple of things. I know this is a long-winded video, but I got started on this, so with a couple of emails. And anyway, I don't want to digress into that. But here's the thing I want you guys to realize is you're a lot better than you think you are. You can do a lot more than you think you can do. You can accomplish anything once you take off the chains the limiting chains that these people are putting on you. And I mean, even if, here's a great example, you go to your buddies and you say, hey, I want to do this A, B, C, D. I want to try this business. I want to do that. I guarantee you they're going to tell you, oh, that's a horrible idea. You'll never make money with it. Why? Because that's their programming. There's a couple of reasons why. There's psychological dynamics going on here with these people. First of all, they don't want to see you succeed, because if you succeed, then they have no excuse why they haven't succeeded. They don't want to see you succeed, because then the onus is on them to do what you've done and break the mold and break out of the idiot bubble. And they don't want to put in that work. They're comfortable being a battery in the matrix. So when they see you succeed, it puts a terrible burden on them. It makes their brain fry. They're going, oh shit, this guy's succeeding. Holy shit, he's no better than me. That's deep in their subconscious. That's why these people will always try and keep you down. They don't want to see you succeed, because it challenges them. And it makes them question their own core belief system. It makes them question the programming that they've believed in all their life. So when you step out of the goose step patterns that everybody else is goose stepping to, and you march to your own beat, it threatens people. But I tell you, it's what you have to do if you want to be independent and successful. So this is some of the best advice I can give you. You have to examine the thing. Take a good objective look at where you are and the people around you. If you want to be independent, this is one of the things you have to do. You have to examine where you are in the matrix. Are you a battery? What are you going to take, the blue pill, or are you going to take the red pill? Would you rather be a successful battery, or would you rather have reality and the chance, just the chance, there's no guarantees in life, but the chance of being your own person and being successful for yourself? It's up to you. I mean, there are a lot of people that are much more comfortable being a battery in the matrix. And you know what? We need batteries in the matrix. We need ditch diggers. We need people that'll do the menial things that need to be done. But if that's not you, you don't have to be that person. Realize that. Give yourself permission to be independent. Give yourself permission to make huge money. And believe it. Believe it can be done. Those are the first steps. All right. That's all I can say for now, guys. I can talk for hours on this, because I was there. I was that idiot truck driver. I was taught all my life, hey, I'm gonna be driving this truck forever. But I knew deep inside I was better than that, despite what everybody around me was telling me. So my goals were always to be independent, to be in business for myself. Ever since I was a little kid, I knew there was a better way. And I saw all the little, all the other people around me being ant colonies and all right. Again, I can go on about this forever, but you guys have to realize you're better. You're better. If you're even thinking about being independent or going into any kind of business for yourself, you're better than the idiots in the idiot bubble. And don't get all butthurt because I called some of you people idiots. Look, I've been called Donald Trump, I've been called Howard Stern, I've been called a lot of things by a lot of people that really hate me. But it's because I'm tough on people. And I'm tough on people for a reason. Because I'm not going to mollycoddle somebody and pump sunshine up their skirt and tell them something that isn't really going to help them. People don't need that. People need to be hit in the head and wake up and just really slapped with the truth. There's too much polite bullshit going on. Your future is at stake. If you want somebody that's going to mollycoddle you and just validate the stupid ideas that you have, that's not going to get you anywhere in life. You need objective opinions from people that have gone through the tough shit and have come out the other side, and that can look at you objectively and say, no, that's a bad idea for you. You're an idiot. People get mad at me for calling them idiots, being tough on them, you know, whatever. But in the end, 99% of those people turn out to love me. They lick my ass and call it ice cream in the end. Why? Because I was the only guy that stepped up and told them the truth and put them on the right path. Okay, now it sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, and I don't like to do that. So realize you're better. That's it. Take the first step. Awaken your inner frustrations and fight this programming. Look at it. It's all around you. Look at the programming around you. You know, when I've got kids. You know, Nick and Kevin, my buddies, they're another great example. They were told the best they could hope for would be becoming a manager of a McDonald's. They were born on the wrong side of the tracks in poor families. They had little to none education. And they were told, hey, if you work hard, you could be a McDonald's manager. Now look at them. They're making huge money in their own business. They have a multi-million-dollar business, these two guys. And why? Because they broke the programming. They took a chance. They bet on themselves. They believed enough in themselves to try, regardless of what all the idiots were telling them out there. Trying to keep them down. Trying to keep them a cog in a machine. And they said, no, we're better than that. At least we're gonna try. And they tried, and they succeeded. They went from working at Hollywood Video, Blockbuster Video, Hollywood Video, whatever it was, for minimum freaking wage. Rewinding videotapes and putting them in the boxes and putting them on the shelf. Menial, being a cog, being a battery in the matrix, to being their own men. And now we all hang out together. We live jet set lifestyles because we knew we were better than that bullshit. Are you? I don't know. You have to take that examination. You have to take a self-evaluation. You have to take inventory of your skill sets. You have to take evaluation of what you want to do, where you want to be, and you have to try. You have to try. That's it. All right, guys. I hope I've gotten some of you people to think and not just accept your lot in life. Step outside. All right, guys. Maximum respect. Donate a few bucks to help a sick kid. St. Jude's Research Hospital for Kids helps sick kids. Bye, Inara. Thanks for watching if you watched all the way to the end.